Thanks for staying on news. Today we are coming to you from Kukumlimle digital address GA099. We are also live on multi-TV, DSTV channel 421 and GoTV channel 144. In our first story, the Metropolitan Archbishop of Accra, Most Reverend Charles Gabriel Palmer-Buckle, is entreating all Ghanaians to use the occasion of Christmas to be generous, especially to the vulnerable in society. He believes that this is the only way the celebration can be made meaningful to all. Maxwell Agbagba spoke to him a few hours before Christmas and has come through with this.
We all dream of the time when we were kids and Christmas focused on Christ, the birth of Christ. It focused on going to church, and then it focused on giving and sharing. I would say that the same focus is there. Unfortunately, Christmas has been overly commercialized. The giving aspect has been overtaken now more by receiving, by eating, by drinking, by having fun. But all that belongs to the joy of Christmas. Because Christmas, in reality, is the story of God's love for us, which is told year in, year out. John chapter 3, I think verse 13 to 16 will tell us that for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son. So Christmas is the time when we thank God for this gift, when we remember the gift that God made of himself to us by giving us his only begotten Son, you see. But it also has a dimension that I believe we should not lose sight of. Because God has been generous to us, we as human beings should also be generous to our fellow men and women. That's what I look at.
Wow, interesting. Now there are some who would also look at for the significance of Christmas. Just like others say, it's a time of giving. It's a time of remembering, the birth of Jesus Christ. What really should be the significance of Christmas?
The message is very broad. God, out of love for us, took on our human nature in order to show us the way to become one day God, to share in the glory of God.
Well, with the commemoration of Christmas in the air, we look at one of Ghana's biggest churches, the Catholic Church. The St. Teresa Minor Basilica, located in the Upper West regional town of Nandom, is one of Ghana's oldest and most iconic religious buildings. In the following story, Joy News' Justice Bedo reports from the town on why locals have departed from such traditional forms of building and the future of the church in one of the towns where it's most loved.
A 19th century edifice still standing strong in 2017. This is the St. Teresa's Minor Basilica in the Upper West regional town of Nandom. Inside, procession for the Sunday Mass. Father Fabian Bebobra, a second-generation Catholic himself, hoping to hand down the faith.
This was the only parish opened to take care of the whole of this northern territory, not northern territory, but across the river, the Kamba River coming up. If you were born there, immediately you were born, they baptized you. You see, so it's like Everything in Nandom just centered around Christianity.
The
weather around this time in this part of Ghana is usually rough, with temperatures going as high as about 40 degrees sometimes. And yet, sitting in this nearly century-old structure, it feels so cool, as though you were in an air-conditioned room. It goes to show the sheer level of quality and hard work that was put into building the structure, wholly by locals who used ordinary stones that are locally available. But now, structures like this seem to be out of fashion, especially in Nandom. Many here are now going in for expensive foreign materials, which usually last for lesser times in building.
If you just go across Burkina, you see that all they are building, that is somebody who can pay. You see that they are using stone to build. And they still have people there who are chipping the stones, and it's a market for them. And they are using stone. For most of their buildings, you see stone. But here, we didn't continue.
And as the taste for old-fashioned buildings like this basilica has taken a tumble in Nandom, so too, it seems, has the love for Catholicism itself.
Some leave because they are not having the strong faith in the Catholic Church. I think if I'm not having the faith, it's the faith that can lead me out from it. If they are also doing the delivering and the other things.
How long will you change? Because you change to meet their taste today, the following day they have another taste. Then you change again. How long will you change in order to keep people?
The church is still firm on keeping practices of old, like celibacy for priests and reverend sisters. This 95-year-old man, now old and frail, was one of the people who helped put up the basilica.
When we started building the basilica, we had nothing. We did it out of love for the Catholic faith. People of today follow materials. They want miracles, and that is why they go to church. That is why they are all leaving.
The Catholic Church is still Ghana's biggest and may well be for a long time to come. But even in die-hard towns like Nandom, where some of its richest legacies as this basilica still stands, there is now a sense of love lost. If the church wants to keep the remaining hearts here still beating to the sound of these xylophones, change, it seems, would then be inevitable. Justice Beidou, Joy News, Nandom.
Very interesting report there. Meanwhile, some Christians have marked the day with church activities. Hannah Odami visited some churches in Accra today and filed this report.
25th December is an extraordinary day to go to church and give thanks to God for what He has done throughout the year. I am at work currently, but I don't want to be left out, so I'm joining the Christ Apostolic Church as we give thanks to God. Join me. After all the singing and dancing, there was prayer time. And of course, the word. For Reverend Emmanuel Owusu, Christians will have to put Christ back at the center of all these festivities.
The merrymaking is good because there is a party. But remember that there is a child that has been born, and the best gift to the child is to put the child back where he belongs. That is the center of Christmas.
Of course, I couldn't have done this without the input of the children. Ye faithful, joyful and triumphant to come. And I join these children as we sing a Christmas carol. Oh boy, I'm living my childhood memories for Christmas. Come and behold him, born a King of angels. And what are the testimonies of these Christians who are excited, thanking God?
Well, I was looking forward to having a promotion and at my workplace, reflecting in my salary as well. And to my delight, God answered it for me and it beat my imagination.
My results was very good this year, so I'm very happy.
Church is over now, and from all of us here at Multimedia, especially Joy News, we wish you a blessed Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year 2018.
Hannah Odami there with that report. Well, President Akufo-Addo is promising brighter days ahead for all Ghanaians as Ghana joins the world to celebrate Christmas, even though he's aware of the challenges that have plagued Ghanaians over the past 11 months under his tenure. The president says he'll devote his energy towards creating a free and prosperous nation for all. These were contained in his Christmas message to the citizenry.
We join the millions across the world in recognizing the sense of renewed hope this joyous season brings to us. As we give and receive the goodwill of Christ in this holy season, let us be mindful of the true meaning of his life on earth, and especially of his greatest commandment. Love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your might, and love your neighbor as yourself. I therefore encourage all to remain committed to the cardinal principles of Christianity: faith, love, charity, and reconciliation. Over the last 11 months, the period of stay of my government in office, we've taken concrete steps towards stabilizing and growing our economy, providing incentives for the private sector to flourish, and ensuring that the most basic elements of social justice, i.e. access to free quality education and health care, are met. I believe that the measures we have put and will put in place will lead to greater and greater employment for all Ghanaians, especially the youth, and higher incomes. I'm confident that the best days of Mother Ghana lie ahead. Let us stay united and focus on the things that can help us construct the road to a brighter future. Let us all celebrate the season safely and responsibly, and remember to help those who are less fortunate than ourselves. Let each one of us do our bit to help feed those who are hungry and offer comfort to those in need. Let us take the time to gather, love, listen, and learn from each other, and to remember that with the help of God, we can overcome any challenge and achieve any future of which we can dream. I wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. May God bless us all and our homeland Ghana and make her great and strong.
President Akufo-Addo there with his Christmas message to the citizenry. Meanwhile, former President Mahama is wishing Ghanaians well on the celebration of this year's Christmas. In a Christmas card posted on his Facebook page, the former leader wished for joy, happiness, and good health for the entire citizenry. And he said on that card, it reads, "Warm greetings and best wishes. May the season bring hope, comfort, and joy. And we pray for good health, wisdom, understanding, and peace in the coming year. John and Lodina Dramani Mahama." Now, the tension brought on by the 2016 general election around this time, according to some families here in Accra, prevented them from celebrating Christmas as they had planned. The euphoria in town about the festive season and the relaxed atmosphere within which people are planning for today's celebration gives them assurance for a tension-free festivity. John News' Frank Addo has been speaking to the Amponsa family and reports they are sure of a memorable Yuletide this year.
The Amponsa family lives at Adenta in Accra. There's a family of 5 members. Michael Amponsa is the head of the family. He is a pastor. Mike Amponsa Jr., Iram Amponsa, and Mark Amponsa are the only children in the family. They are all students. Their mother, Mary Amponsa, is a secretary. In 2016, around the same time, this family tells me they could not gather to sing or implement their plans for Christmas due to the tension that came along with the election.
Well, last year was an election year, and it wasn't easy. You see, with the fear of maybe conflicts and so forth and so on. But God, by His grace, took us through, and today we are alive and we are yet to celebrate another Christmas.
This year seems different since there's no election and there's no fear of violence. A situation the Aponsens tell me is very relieving to enable them celebrate the Yuletide. The family have been telling more about their plans for this year's celebration.
It's been normal, just that last year was an election year, as Daddy said, but this year we don't have election. So everything is moving all right. And you know, Christmas is about giving out, celebrating with families here and there. And that's what we are preparing to do.
What I'm seeing forward to this Christmas, okay, is, you know, organizing church programs that talks more about Christmas, because Christmas is always like going to the beach, you know, going here to celebrate with friends, going for picnic and things.
Before Christmas, sometimes we go to the mall, we go to the beach and stuff. But I remember when we were young, we used to like game, we played game a lot. But now, since we are grown, we don't have time to play those things. So we just decided that this Christmas, we are not going to go out, no malls, no beaches. We just wanted to use this opportunity to, you know, to play game and then just have fun, you know, home stuff.
Like many other families preparing for Christmas in 2017, the fear of traffic jam in town is a big deal during these times.
So I think, yeah, the traffic will affect the celebration a bit, just a bit.
You have to get everything before the time for what? Christmas. You make sure when it's time for Christmas, at least you go through all the traffic and whatever to get your things, so celebrating it will be easier.
The Amponsers therefore hope to do all they need to do before it is too late for them to have the fun they want on Christmas Day. Frank Addos reports for Joy News.
It's a Christmas edition of News Today, and you're live on your Joy News channel. In stories gone by, as Christians all over the world mark Christmas today, Metropolitan Archbishop of the Accra Diocese, Reverend Palmer Buckle, has entreated Christians in Ghana to be generous to the poor and vulnerable in society. And President Akufo-Addo has also assured the citizenry of brighter days ahead in his administration and joining all and sundry to put their shoulder to the wheel. And still to come, how will you be serving and eating your fufu and other traditional meals this Christmas? I guess you'll be using the apotoyewa, not a plastic bowl, right? Well, while you consider that, we'll tell you how the use of plastic bowls are gradually pushing away the apotoyewa in our homes. The details and more after these messages from our sponsors. Thanks for staying here on Joy News Today with me, Benis Abubedu. Christmas is a special time of the year for Christians the world over. For many Christians, Christmas represents a time of joy, merriment and connecting with friends and family. While Ghana has a majority Christian population, it has a strong and thriving minority Muslim community as well. The following is a feature on how members of the Islamic community in Ghana commemorate the Christmas.
Ghana is home to about 9 million Muslims. Although the Muslim community doesn't necessarily celebrate Christmas, Islam holds Jesus Christ in high esteem as he is celebrated as a prophet of Allah.
Islam views Prophet Isa or Jesus Christ as one of the major and the greatest prophets sent for the guidance of mankind. Yeah. We believe that his birth, was miraculous. Immaculate birth is something that the Quran accepts. He worked miracles in his life as a means to also give an indication of the power of God, which is manifested through his hand.
Sheikh Shuaib talks about the main difference between Islam and Christianity's characterization of Jesus.
The difference is that Muslims do not and reject the belief that he is God. We see him rather as a human being raised by God, through whom God worked his miracle. And so we give honor of the miracles to the source of the miracle and not the one through whom the miracle was made manifest to the world.
Even though Islam doesn't celebrate Jesus' birth, Muslims are still encouraged to be in solidarity with their Christian neighbors during the celebrations.
Islam respects people of other faith traditions, accords them their rights. In fact, Islam goes further to encourage us to show them kindness and to treat them with justice.
Meet the Ahmeds, one of the many Muslim families in Ghana that is happy to support their Christian friends and colleagues during the festivities. They usually spend the holidays relaxing and joining their Christian friends in commemorating the season.
As Ghanaians, we virtually observe it to the full. As a Muslim and believing in the peaceful coexistence with our neighbors, we take active part in the social aspects of the period, that in terms of the festivities and then the celebrations.
On Christmas Day, I go to my neighbors and because they usually will bring me gifts. And I cherish that period because you know how busy we are in Accra here. Most of the time we don't see each other. So it's only during this festive period that we exchange gifts and then we have to visit each other just to show appreciation for the gifts that have been brought. So that's the only time I get to knock on the doors of each and every neighbor that I have around here.
I hang up with like a couple of my friends, if maybe they invite us for a party or something, or probably just stay home and then watch TV or any of the programs that come up during Christmas.
That although Muslims don't celebrate Christmas, the season bears similarities with the Muslim Eid holidays.
In the Bible, it talks about the birth of Christ, and that's a festive occasion. In Islam, we celebrate the two major Eids, one at the end of the fasting month, and then the other one is to celebrate the Abrahamic ritual of the Hajj. For me, the difference isn't too much if you look at the fact that they are all godly centered. They are about the same because we serve the same God.
As this family shows, Ghanaian Muslims are more than happy to support their Christian compatriots and would like to wish their Christian friends a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Afishapa.
Merry Christmas.
Afin combo to him.
Reporting for Joy News, this is Mohammed Mahama, Accra.
Now, once a popular utensil in many Ghanaian homes, the earthenware bowl is losing its place of pride as many turn to more modern ways of serving their meals. Joy News' Justice Bedu has been to the western region town of Seshi Jenase, where a lot of these bowls, known locally as apotoyoa, are made, and reports on what the shift in choices means for people involved in making the product.
Pottery is an age-old craft in Ghana. On the countryside, many perfect it. This is middle-aged Kweku Bekwin. 10 years ago, he moved from his native Sunyani to the western regional town of Seshi, Dwenase, to begin the art of making pots. Here, he is one of hundreds who earn a living doing this.
We first dig the clay from the banks of the river and bring it here to mold. We then bake it in an oven. Then it is ready. We sell them for 2 cedis and 1 cedi 50 pesos.
200. If you see 150, then we see 8,000.
For ages, many Ghanaians have grown up eating from and cooking with clay-made bowls known locally as apotoyoa. But now, with modernity and people changing attitudes and shifting cultures, many are turning to modern utensils and plastics. That means less business for apotoyoa producers and people like 65-year-old Awo Afabia, who has spent the last 20 years retailing apotoyoa.
Times are changing. People prefer plastic bowls. We used to even get business from chop bar operators, but these days, we don't get them again. Despite the trend, I don't think sales of earthenware bowls would stop. It's part of our tradition, and people still like it, so I think we would still be in business.
Like many Ghanaian-made products of old, the apotoyoa risks extinction, and along with it, the many livelihoods that depend on its trade. Justice Bedu, Joy News, Seshi, Dwenase.
Hope you get an apotoyoa in your home if you don't have one. We'll take a quick breather now. When we come back, Darryl Kwao will be bringing us business news.